Now it's time to have a look at the buttons. We're going to start with the block for medium up, show for medium up. As you may remember, we have two sets. One is for tablets and desktops. The other one is for basically smartphones. So for medium up, we're going to start with the print list button. After the class attribute, we are going to create a new line and type ng-click, which is one of the Angular directives. Basically, on click, what we want to do, we want to execute the method called print. So just print and a set of brackets. And that's all done for this button here. Then we go for the clear completed. Again, after the class, we're going for ng-click directive, and clear completed will have remove method, which basically removes the record which are checked on a list. Then if we scroll down, we've got add button. Add button will use we'll use only one directive as well, but a different one than the previous ones. It's not going to be on click because it's a submit type of a button, which basically automatically submits the form, and then form has already the ng submit directive associated with it, so form will execute obviously the submission. So for this one, we're going to have ng disabled Angular directive, and this one will have the exclamation mark and good to go method. If it's not good to go, make sure that it's disabled, and that's all that we're doing here basically. So the button will be a little bit faded out, and obviously the cursor is going to be different, and when you click, nothing will happen. We'll have this disabled attribute as well associated with this until obviously the good to go will return true. And that is going to be true when obviously the first field and the second field in the form have some values. And obviously the first one needs to have the right length as well. Okay, let's move to the next button, which is clear entry. After the class, we are going for ng-click, and this one will simply have the clear method associated with this. And now exactly the same we need to do basically with the version for the smartphones as well, for smaller devices. After the class, we are on the plus, which is add. This FA plus basically represents the add button. So it's going to be ng disabled exclamation mark good to go. So if it's not good to go, make sure that it's disabled. Then we've got a button, that is the second button basically, which is the clear button. So ng click clear method. Then we have print. As you can see, this is obviously the font awesome classes for the buttons, because we don't display labels, we only display icons here. I'm just trying to guess which one it is basically, but it's all good. So ng-click again, and this one will have print method called from our controller. And then for the last one, times, which is removing, ng-click will have remove method. Okay, if I now save the file and go to our browser, refresh the page, have a look at the add button. It's disabled straight away. You can see it's paler, obviously the cursor changed now, and if I click, nothing happens. Let's see what's going to happen with this button once we've got the right values in two of these fields, because of the third one's got some selections straight away. So if we type, say, butter, this still is disabled. But if I add quantity, let's say change it to 1, there we go, button becomes active, and I can now click and add it. Obviously nothing's gonna happen well, if I click it, obviously we're calling this insert.php file, which tells us error 500 internal server error, because the file could not be found. This file doesn't exist yet. So that's why I didn't want to click in the first place. But as you can see, if I remove this, the button goes disabled again, or if I leave this one in and only let's say one character, that also disables the button. Or if I go over the limit, if you just put some characters, you can see that also disables the button. So it's only going to be active when we've got the right number of characters here and the value in the second field. So that's our buttons. Obviously clear entry, if I click on clear entry, there we go, this one and this one is now blank. Print list, click on print, the print dialog pops in. Clear completed doesn't, I mean, it works. The only thing is obviously you haven't got any items on the list yet, so it hasn't got anything to work with. And if I click, it will also, if I clear the console, it will also call this 500 error. Actually, it doesn't. And that's because we obviously haven't got any records in here yet. So if we go back to the editor, and if we perhaps move to the next video.